So today we're going to be talking about a very important topic, and that's the topic of financial abuse, recognizing the signs of it, giving you tips to fight it and to overcome it. We know that with the pandemic and with COVID-19, domestic violence has been increasing, and also that women have been largely affected by this recession, so much so that they're calling it a she-cession. And so this has impacts not only on women's ability to fight financial abuse, but of course in terms of their pay and job security right now. So several months ago, I wrote an article on the New York Observer about financial abuse, and I highlighted that several celebrities, including Serena Williams and Eva Longoria, have been using their voice as a way to highlight the problems of domestic abuse. Because, and I have some statistics here, that according to the U.S. Department of Justice, 1 in 4 women in the U.S. are victims of domestic abuse. So what are some signs of financial abuse? Some early signs are a spouse or partner being very controlling as it relates to your finances. So controlling your credit cards, scrutinizing your credit card statements, scrutinizing your spending decisions on every little item that you buy, and making you feel really insecure and not confident in the financial decisions you're making. And so some of those are the early warning signs of financial abuse. You feel guilty for your spending. You're made to feel that you're not doing this in the right way. And so what are some of the strategies to fight this? Well, I want to give you some tips. If you know someone or you're in this situation, have a family member or friend who might be in this situation, that you can share these tips with them. Very important. So one of the first things is to, apart from recognizing the signs, is to have a firm financial identity. And by that, I mean, what are my spending goals? What are my saving goals? What is my investment identity? What are the things that I want to splurge on versus save on? See, many of us transition into adulthood not having gained a sense of our financial identity. That first house, the wedding, the honeymoon, the first car is all tied to our expansionary years, and years that we start out with a spouse or a significant other making these big joint purchases. So from that standpoint, it means from the get-go, we're influenced by somebody else's spending habits, somebody else's investment identity, and we transition into adulthood not having developed that on our own. And so what I want to do is to tell especially women, and of course men out there as well, to have a firm sense of your financial identity. And that's tied to your mission and your values in life. You know, many times I talk about, just writing out a mission statement. That mission statement will guide you in terms of how you spend, because it's tied to your long-term goals. The other tip for overcoming or strategies to fight financial abuse is to recognize the signs of a toxic relationship. And so these signs, they're always early warning flags. Somebody who's very controlling, always wants to control your spending or your investment habits, always scrutinizing your money decisions. That is a sign of a toxic relationship. And so in recognizing the signs of toxic relationships, we can move forward, and of course, and embracing the holistic wealth mindset to be able to decide whether this is an addition to my holistic wealth bank account or a depletion. Is this relationship really enriching me, or it's taking away from me? Is it making me feel bankrupt? Because that's important in terms of giving you the confidence to not only make decisions, but to embrace your financial identity. The third part that I want to talk about is taking measured risks. And this is something that's very difficult to do sometimes when we're in a situation, when we're experiencing financial abuse, when we're going through a toxic relationship. But taking measured risks means having the confidence to make that decision to either sever ties, to claim your own investment or your own financial identity, and to go forward and not being influenced by somebody else. So in taking measured risks, a key component of that is recognizing fake constraints versus real constraints. And when I talk about fake constraints, I mean things that we put up, artificial barriers to making the decisions that we need to in life, by saying, oh, I'm not good enough to start my own business. Oh, I don't think I could invest in anything. I don't have any experience. But those things are easily surmountable in terms of, educating yourself and lifelong learning and going back to school and really learning about things you need to overcome those barriers. So when I talk about fake constraints, those are the fake constraints. And the real ones are some real ones out there, like we talked about the gender pay gap. That might be a real constraint at the moment, but it might not be a permanent constraint. It might be temporary. So in thinking about, overcoming these issues, it's really key to look at decision making, looking at the relationships we have in our life, really assessing our financial situation to see what we can do to enrich and enable ourselves to overcome situations like these.